In today's video, I'm going to be flying from Adelaide to Port Lincoln with Qantaslink on a Dash 8 Q300. It's shaping up to be a very nice day today actually. It's supposed to be about 36, 37, so it's going to be a hot one. This is actually my first time flying on the Dash 8 Q300, as it was only last year I flew on its bigger brother, the Q400, so I'm looking forward to a new experience. But for now, let's get into today's video, where I've just parked my car in the undercover long-term parking bays at Adelaide Airport and about to enter the terminal. G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be flying with Qantaslink over to Port Lincoln on one of their Dash 8 Q300s, so I'm very much looking forward to that. It's shaping up to be a very nice day today actually. It's supposed to be about 36, 37, so it's going to be a hot one. But yeah, first time flying over to Port Lincoln, and my first time flying on the Dash 8 Q300. I flew on the Q400 last year. I believe that was from Townsville up to Cairns. But anyways, today I'm going to be flying over to Port Lincoln, so that means we're going to be flying out over the Gulf of St. Vincent, over York Peninsula, and then Spencer Gulf before landing down in Port Lincoln. But anyways, let's get going. Today I'll be flying on VH Tango Quebec Yankee, which is a 22-year-old aircraft operating QF2267 on this Saturday morning. Now, as there is no filming on the tarmac, let's jump straight on board and head to seat 12D, where I'll be sitting behind the right wing for this easterly departure towards the city. We began boarding at 7:45 for a 8:05 departure, and I was one of the first on board the plane. The 300 series has 50 economy seats and a 2x2 configuration. The seats are 17 inches wide with a pitch of 31 inches and are relatively comfortable, especially for short regional hops under 1 hour. Although we have 50 seats on board today, I've counted 19 passengers, including myself, heading over to Port Lincoln. So not only do I have a free seat next to me, I have the row on the other side as well, which means views on both sides. Not long after boarding, we received a bottle of water from cabin crew and then prepared for taxi and takeoff. As you'll see, I absolutely love the sound of these turboprop engines, but for now, let's enjoy the takeoff from Adelaide on this warm and clear January morning. After taking off from runway 5, we made a sharp bank left to head out over the Gulf of St. Vincent. The average flight time from Adelaide to Port Lincoln is around 40 minutes, covering 246 kilometers. And not long after takeoff, the captain mentioned we'll be cruising at 12,000 feet today, staying just below the cloud layer. On today's short regional hop, there will be a light refreshment service with tea, coffee, and snacks. Today's light snack was a muffin, however I could not eat this due to my dietary restrictions, so thankfully the staff hooked me up with some other gluten-free snacks and an apple. After the refreshment service, a cabin crew member also made their way through the cabin to ask if anyone was in need of a taxi after arrival in Port Lincoln, which was also something new to myself since I never fly these regional routes. Qantaslink operate 3 flights from Adelaide to Port Lincoln on Saturdays, 4 flights on Sunday, and 5 flights during the weekdays. But overall, I have absolutely loved this flight on the Dash 8 300 series. After flying on the 400 last year, I knew I wanted to fly on these turboprops more often, as I love the sound and shaking in the cabin. We began our descent into Port Lincoln just 29 minutes after takeoff in Adelaide, where it looks like we'll be making an early arrival. On board, we have a friendly cabin crew, which were very accommodating for my dietary requirements, and once on the ground, one of them actually struck up a conversation with me about celiacs, as one of her friends also has it, which was a bonus because it made me feel more comfortable to ask if I could look inside the cockpit, which you'll see once we touch down. But overall, great flight, and I really enjoyed the views over the Gulf and Peninsula, at a lower altitude than what I usually see going to or returning from Perth. So today, I paid 8,000 Qantas frequent flyer points and a small amount in taxes for this flight, which usually I'd say for business class. However, I was returning with Rex Airlines on this day and didn't want to fork out roughly $200 each way for a short trip to Port Lincoln and back. But for now, let's enjoy the stunning descent and landing into Port Lincoln, where I'll get back to you once we're on the ground.
Sure. Grab the white one.
Have a couple.
Have a couple? Rightio,
Yeah,
thank
go
you.
for it. I don't know if they're gluten free, are they?
The white ones are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cheers,
they're
thank you.
salted caramel. Do you like those?
Okay guys, that concludes today's trip report. I really enjoyed that. And how was the ending there? Got to go check out the flight deck of the Dash 8 Q300. Thank you very much to First Officer Jake for letting me check that one out. But yeah, I loved it. You could probably tell with my face in the very beginning when the props start up. But I love it. You know, it feels so raw. The only way I can sort of describe it, why I love those prop aircraft so much, is the fact that it reminds me of my motorcycling days. And I don't know, it just feels louder and it feels more bumpy. You feel it more like I used to feel the road. So yeah, really enjoyed that one. But anyways, I've only got 1 hour left in Port Lincoln here before I hop back on the plane again on the Rex Saab 340, one of their planes, and head back to Adelaide. So it's been a nice Saturday morning, you know, having the day off and being able to fly over here to Port Lincoln. But anyways, guys, if you made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one when we're flying back to Adelaide with Rex. Cheers, catch ya.